Now there's certain terminology you're going to come across in gamification, and I'm going to explain some of it as we go along. But one of the most important areas to really understand is the difference between intrinsic motivation and extrinsic rewards. And these are two phrases you're going to come against a lot in gamification. Intrinsic motivation, put simply, is something that motivates you without the need for an external reward or some kind of external stimulus. Edward Deci and Richard Ryan defined this in their self-determination theory as the doing of activity for its inherent satisfactions rather than for some separable consequence. And they then go on to identify three key intrinsic motivations: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. And these are things you're going to come across quite a lot, and Deci and Ryan are two names you'll find a lot. The other name you'll find around motivation is Dan Pink, who wrote a book called Drive. And he uses similar motivators, but he uses purpose as well. A simple way to look at this is something that I define as RAMP: relatedness, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And they're four key things that motivate us. There are lots more, but keep those in mind and you're on solid grounding. Now the other part of this equation is the extrinsic rewards. And again, Deci and Ryan have a reasonable explanation of this. A construct that pertains whenever an activity is done in order to attain some separable outcome. Put simply, rewards. You do something, I give you a reward, and that's your reason for doing it. Now, the key importance in all of this is that intrinsic motivation can last a lot longer than extrinsic rewards. At some point, the rewards become less interesting. Or, even worse, something called over-justification effect. The rewards become more important than the intrinsic reason to be doing something. And as soon as the rewards stop, you stop doing the activity. So it's always important to try and concentrate on the intrinsic, and we'll talk a lot more about this over the tutorials, but just keep in mind that when you hear these things, intrinsic motivation is really the key.